right? So we have to really understand like the concept of reinvesting the wealth. Elon Musk is who he is today because he sold and reinvested profits from like 5 or 6 different businesses. You think he just started with Tesla and built it from the ground up? Like, no, he bought Tesla and put PayPal money into Tesla. And now Tesla is worth $600 billion or $500 billion. And then he'll take that. He'll take that and then he'll put it into SpaceX. Right? But before PayPal, it was like some type of internet browser or something. Like, reinvestment is the key to wealth. We cannot just retain, we can't conserve our way to wealth. It has to grow, right? We have to continue to replant that seed. So even if the next generation isn't prepared to take over, you still have to, the best thing you could do is sell the property and reinvest those funds in a more tax efficient property to make it harder for the next generation to sell the building or sell the house, because they won't have an incentive to. But if you hand them a tax burden, the only way to solve that is to sell the building or sell the property. That's the only way to solve it. If they have a job, they might not have a job that pays them that much. And she's someone, speaking specifically on the lady I'm talking about. She's someone who she makes around $500,000 in the mailbox, right? And that's a lot of money. Don't get me wrong. But if her portfolio is worth $20 million and she's making $500,000 in the mailbox, that's like 1%. Like, that's less than, I'm assuming that's less than 2%. I can be wrong, but it might be 2%, right? So the easiest thing that she can do, because it's very, very clear in her situation that that's the nest egg and she's the queen bee. And while everyone else is still doing things, they're still holding on to her to make the decisions. So when she passes, what happens, right? So the easiest thing for her to do in that sense, if no one is going to take care of the properties after she dies and sells them, because she's 90 years old, is to completely sell her entire portfolio. And if she has, $18 million left after settling any debt and all fees, she can go buy a $30 million building at a 5 cap. Right? And that's $1.5 million a year in net income on $18 million, right? So $1.5 million a year on $18 million is around 8%. You're earning 8% a year on 18 million. That sounds pretty good to me. Like, I don't know where you can just do that. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, we really have to understand, like, it has to continue to grow unless someone is active enough and they've been involved enough to do it on their own. The person who's in that chair at the moment has to make the decision for the next generation.